Immaculate Heart of Mary was first established in 1944 in a farmhouse that was purchased by the Archdiocese of Cincinnati. The current church was dedicated in 1979. In 2000, the parish decided to renovate this space, changing it from a cinder block and cement structure to a building that included more light and color. The 6 12-foot-tall etched glass entry doors tell of our salvation history. From the left, the first pair of doors shows symbols in the Old Testament, including the Tree of Knowledge, the Torah, Noah's Ark, and an incense pot lifting our prayers to heaven. The Star of David, the 10 Commandments, and the burning bush are on the second door. Completing the series of Old Testament symbols is the circle of 12 stars, representing the 12 tribes of Israel. The second set of doors is etched with symbols of the creation of man, the earth, and the animals. The final set of doors shows symbols of the New Testament, including the Star of the Epiphany, the staff, and the lamb. The harp and crown show the lineage of David, with a vine winding throughout, symbolizing the vine of life, Jesus. The Alpha and the Omega are intertwined to remind us that God has always been and will always be. The 4-pointed star represents the Nativity, with the hand of God above. The first thing you see on entering the church is the large cruciform immersion font. The font is made of green marble and crema marfil marble. The color green symbolizes hope. The Tudor rose, a symbol of the Holy Mother Mary, is carved in the marble of the font. Steps that lead into the font for baptism by immersion also lead the newly baptized through the stained glass water doors to the altar. The flooring around the font and down the center aisle of the church is banded in the same material with 3 large crema marfil marble diamonds embedded in the floor as a processional path from the font through the waters of baptism to the table of sacrifice. The Holy Spirit window above the baptismal font reflects 7 rays to symbolize the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit: wisdom, understanding, counsel, fortitude, knowledge, piety, and fear of the Lord. To the right of the font is the ambry, created from 3 octagon columns of Brazilian cherry and jarrah wood. This octagonal shape is repeated throughout all the furniture. The ambry houses the oil of catechumen, the oil of the sick, and the sacred chrism. The blue and green swirled glass doors represent the waters of baptism. The water doors usher us from the font in the gathering space to the worship space. The materials from the font and the processional path are mirrored in the altar and the ambo. Both are made of the crema marfil marble and carved with the Tudor rose. The octagon shape is repeated here to represent the 7 days of creation plus 1, God, to show the equal importance of the liturgy of the Word and the liturgy of the Eucharist. The altar has 4 small crosses carved of jarrah wood, inset into the marble mensa to signify the 4 corners of the world. An additional ambo made from the same wood as the rest of the furnishings is placed against the marble ambo to allow for handicapped accessibility. The altar and the ambo stand on the same green marble that is used for the top of the font, drawing the connection from the waters of baptism to the table of Eucharist. The large corpus on the cross at the back of the sanctuary was donated to the parish by Father William Schroeder. This crucifix hung in the church until 2000, when the corpus was refurbished and placed on a new cross rising from the floor. This allows for the congregation to come and touch the foot of Jesus. 3 beautifully carved and painted statues can be found in the church. These statues, Mary, Our Lady of Cincinnati, Joseph, and the Sacred Heart of Jesus, are from the original church and were ordered from Italy by Father Hageman in the 1950s. The window of the Immaculate Heart of Mary in the peak of the entrance to the church was a gift from parishioner Andy Thule. The window had been reduced in size in the 1970s to fit in the daily chapel. With the renovations, the window was restored to its original condition and installed above the entrance of the church. The 8 Marian windows in the nave of the church represent various important biblical events in Mary's life: the Annunciation, the Visitation, the Nativity, the Presentation, the Crucifixion, the Pietà, the Assumption, and the Coronation. The colors of the glass complement the wall colors of the Marian rose and green. The angel doors leading into the Eucharistic Adoration Chapel were designed as life-size children. The angel on the left holds a palm branch, symbolizing adoration, while the angel on the right holds a candle to symbolize devotion. The windows in the Eucharistic Adoration Chapel depict Eucharistic symbols. The bread and grapes represent the body and the blood of Christ, while the victorious lamb represents Jesus triumphant over death. The third window shows a mother pelican piercing her breast to feed her young with her blood. Now, this is the only creature that will feed its young with its own blood when it can find no food, just as Christ shed his blood to save God's children. With its side poles, the tabernacle was designed to represent the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant is also a Marian symbol, as Mary represents the Ark of the New Covenant as Mother of Jesus. The octagon shape of the tabernacle relates to the altar and is made of Brazilian cherry on a base of the same crema marfil marble that is seen throughout the other sacramental pieces. Hand-carved angels wrap around the tabernacle in love and protection. The story of Immaculate Heart of Mary, from a farmhouse to the present beautiful building.